So you want to sell your art online, but you're too scared to start. My art isn't good enough. What if no one wants to buy my art? What will my friends and family think? These are some of the many worries and negative thoughts that stop me from pursuing art seriously. That is, until one day I decided to just start for fun, and it grew into something that was actually profitable. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in these thoughts, so today I thought I'll share a little advice for those who also want to pursue art and make money from it. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm a polymer clay artist and I've been selling my handmade art on Etsy for about 6 months now. Now, I'm not the most successful artist or small business owner, but I've had a pretty successful drop this month and have grown tremendously these past few months, both in terms of sales and social media growth. For reference, in the past 48 hours, I made over $1,000 in revenue, and keep in mind this is revenue, so it doesn't factor in any costs. This may not be the most impressive number, but it is a big step up from when I first started selling polymer clay charms. During my first month selling polymer clay charms, it took me one whole month to make a whopping $200. So to go from $200 in 1 month to over $1,000 in just 2 days is a big achievement for me. I originally wasn't going to make this video because my stats aren't the most impressive, but I've been getting a lot of DMs asking for advice. I've gotten questions from people who want to start their own small business or grow their social media accounts, and that came to a surprise to me because I'm still kind of new to it myself. But looking back, I think I've grown a lot compared to when I first started selling my art, and the advice I'm about to share would have been helpful to me when I was getting started. So I'm making this video in hopes that it will also help you in your journey. I have a lot of orders to pack today, so I think I'm going to do a voiceover while I pack your orders. The first tip I have is don't be afraid to price your art fairly. This advice is more so for handmade art because people sometimes undervalue and underappreciate how much work really goes into making a handmade item. Handmade art takes a lot of time, effort, skill, and creativity, and you deserve to be paid a fair price for it. I personally believe that art is a luxury, not a necessity, and therefore people who truly value your work will be willing to pay a fair price for it. There are people out there who are willing to pay $50 for a plain t-shirt or thousands of dollars for a luxury bag. Trust me, there are plenty of people out there who would gladly buy your art for a premium price. They just haven't found you yet. I see so many artists who undervalue their work and price their art super cheap just so people will buy their work. While cheaper prices can lead to more sales, you lose out on a lot of potential revenue in the long run. When you price your art lower than it should be, you have to work twice as hard to make the same amount that you could be making. Sure, it may take you longer to sell out your products with that higher price, but this will be much more favorable for your business in the long run. This is because you'll be attracting buyers who have the budget or are willing to invest in your art for a fair price. And these are the customers that you ultimately want to keep. Also, this isn't always true, but people tend to associate higher prices with higher quality. So by pricing your art higher, you are subconsciously letting people know that your art is better than some mass-produced goods from Temu. So this is just to say, don't be scared to charge more for your art because the value is reflected in the quality, fine craftsmanship, and uniqueness that can't be found anywhere else. The second tip I have is all about social media. Why is social media so important as an artist, and how do you even grow on social media? If you want to sell your art online, the best way to gain customers is through organic social media marketing. This basically just means creating social media posts without paying for advertisements or boosts. I think that organic social media marketing beats any type of paid advertising or paid social media marketing because paid advertising only provides short-term benefits. You're only going to be able to make sales for as long as you're willing to pay money for that exposure. Also, paid content can come off as inauthentic, so it's hard to build trust and a long-term relationship with customers. Organic social media marketing, on the other hand, is not only free, but you can also build a loyal fan base and community around your art and you as an artist. You want to build a long-term relationship with your audience as these are the people who will follow you along in your art journey, recommend you to their network, and support you as you grow. I also really love social media because you could directly communicate with your audience and get real-time feedback about your art or small business. For example, I recently put up this poll on my Instagram story asking which stingray design people wanted to see in my shop. I personally thought that choice number 1 was the worst design and wasn't planning on remaking it, but to my surprise, choice number 1 won the majority vote. This feedback was super useful as I would have never even thought to remake choice number 1 if it wasn't for this poll. Also, social media opens up so many opportunities, such as being able to connect with other artists and paid brand collaborations. As you gain more followers, brands will reach out to you to create art or content that aligns with their brand, and this is another stream of income that you can earn as an artist. Now to answer the question that I'm sure many of you are curious about, and that is, how do you even grow on social media? In order to really grow on social media, you have to do more than just show off your art. It's not enough to post a picture or video of your finished artwork and call it a day. You need to create content that gets people to share, like, and engage in your content. And more specifically, you need to create Instagram Reels or TikTok videos because photos don't get nearly as much reach. Lucky for us, we're artists and we have creativity on our side. Use that creative muscle to think of unique ways to showcase your art. And if you really can't think of anything, one type of content that gets the most views, specifically for the art niche, are videos that show how you make your art. This can be either a tutorial or clips of you making your art. Another video idea is to share the story behind your art or share your experience being an artist. People love listening to stories, and it also gives them another reason to purchase your product. Also, listen to your audience because you can get some really great content ideas from reading the comments. For example, I had this video of me making a tang hula figure blow up on TikTok. It has 1 million views on TikTok, and one of the comments said, "Wait, those will look so cute as hairpins." I thought this was a genius idea, so I replied to that comment with a video reply, and that video ended up getting 65,000 views on TikTok and 848,000 views on YouTube Shorts. So as you can see, creating content doesn't have to be difficult. Just listen to what your audience wants. Another tip to keep in mind when creating videos is the importance of pacing and a hook. This is more so for Instagram. I don't know what it is, but people just can't sit through long videos on Instagram. You're more likely to get views with short 15-second videos or videos with fast cuts. To prove this, I made a 1-second video on Instagram and that got 1.2 million views. It's literally a 1-second clip of my clay art that just loops. TikTok is more forgiving and people are more likely to sit through minute-long videos that aren't super highly edited. As for the hook, you want to grab the attention of a viewer within the first couple seconds so they don't swipe away. This can be anything that will intrigue a viewer, such as a really satisfying part in your art making process or showing a unique feature of your art. For example, in this video where I show clips of how my stingray keychains are made, I intentionally showed the most unique part of it first, which is the fact that these aren't just normal clay keychains, they're couple keychains and you can connect it to stingrays with magnets. This video ended up getting 848,000 views, and I made 2 other videos following this same format and they also did really well. Another thing about social media is that video ideas don't have to be completely original. Sometimes it's better to not be original and just follow the wave of a trend. For example, I remember seeing a trend where people post themselves with edits of giant grocery store items. I hopped onto that trend but with a twist. Instead of the grocery store, I thought, why not do this trend but with my clay art? And that video got 361,000 views on Instagram. Overall, my biggest tip regarding social media is to look at what other successful artists and creators are doing. Study their editing and patterns you see within their successful videos. The next tip is that good things take time. Don't be discouraged and quit if things don't work out right away. Unless you're very lucky and your videos go viral, it's likely that it's going to take months or even years before you start seeing growth or success. And even if you're lucky enough to get a viral video, that success won't last long if you don't know how to continuously fuel it. I've seen artists and content creators blow up with one viral video and fall just as fast as they blew up. Remember, good things take time, so don't be sad if you're not getting sales or views in the first couple months. It took me 1 whole month to make $200 in my first month of selling my clay figures. If I gave up back then, I would have never known that it's possible to make $1,000 in a single weekend selling my handmade art. This last one is very important, and that is, don't let yourself or anyone else tell you that your art is not good enough. Even worse than someone else telling you that you're not good enough is when you yourself tell yourself that you're not good enough. At the very least, you should believe in yourself and have the confidence to try chasing after your passion. You never know where your passion will lead if you never try. And if you have a family to take care of, I'm not saying that you should quit your job for art, but try to make a little bit of time in your day. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour to dedicate to your passion. By taking your art seriously, you'll also be doing yourself a favor because with every new artwork or social media video you post, you'll learn how to get better and better at your craft. And that's all the advice I have for you today. I hope at least some of this information was useful to you. But before I go, I just wanted to thank everyone who supported me in this month's drop. I'm really grateful for all the love and support, and I hope that I can continue to make art that you guys can enjoy. I'm going to go ship out these packages now, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!